G'day mates, we are the Odd Set. I'm Haikal.
Wagwan, Mehdi.
Hafiz.
And welcome guys to our next episode. Thank you for tuning in. First and foremost, please follow us on all our socials, and also please subscribe on our YouTube, and if you like, any of the videos, please like and comment. But enough of that. Today we have I'm incredibly excited. So I'm gonna take this introduction, guys. Sorry, normally Mehdi or Hafiz does it, but today we have a true pioneer of Southeast Asian hip hop, right?
Yes,
Joining us in the studio, right? This guy has been shaping, and he has been, his music has been around through Singapore, Malaysia. He's been causing waves, ripples, hype. Um, from his early days till his most latest and most, I think, amazing album ever. Let's introduce our guest today. We have Alyph, everyone. What up?
Yeah.
So, korang semua hip hop kan. Better invest in the real air horn Next interview aku tak nak tengok nak try beatbox ni semua, tak payah.
Aku tengah pakai, kau tak nampak je.
aku ada ni ah. That
Gila babi.
I'm sorry.
That is
If
Kalau
that,
aku boleh bagi feedback sikit, dia punya audio clip dia, kau ambil daripada depan dia, buang sikit. Kalau aku boleh bagi feedback lah.
Kalau further feedback daripada aku, kau buang semua sudah. Dah. Tak payah. Kau buang je.
Oh my god.
Aku rasa satu macam malu tau sekarang.
I mean, come on, man. We're starting out. We're still growing. So I think, in the future,
Things I have
definitely,
to put up with.
But again, Alyph, congratulations on your album release, The Storm. What
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
amazing album. Let's kick off this session or this recording sesh today with The Storm, man. Tell us a bit about, the album, the process, your thought process on all the tracks and stuff. And yeah, man, let us know.
Well, I've always been meaning to come up with an album because I just realized one day that I don't have an album. And this was an actual realization. 'Cause I think I had my attention and focus so deep into other artists punya careers, and then myself I was producing, and then I think I was basically anytime I wanted to start on my album, something else happens,
Got
and
in the way. Okay.
and I mean, like, there were good things that happened. So as much as I wish I started on my album then, but a few things happened that I really enjoyed as well. So benda tu jadi tolak-tolak sampai COVID lah. So COVID time, that was when I was like, hey, I haven't produced for myself. Like, I've been producing, but not for myself. I only had like probably 2 mixtapes, 3 mixtapes, I think, and a collaboration album, and that was it. So I started on the album.
so this album is five years in the making, or 4 years, because it was from COVID, right?
Yeah. I had a few drafts, so that means there were a few drafts of the album. Actually, the original album that was going to come out was a different name, different songs. I made some changes to it, so I would say that the real actual work started about 2022, man. But I only put it out January this year. So if we were to backtrack, there would have been 3-4 months of pre-promotional planning before the drop. So the masters were in August 2024. But from 2022 to August 2024, if you were to combine all the sessions together, I think the album only took about 6 months maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How I know this was a dope album, right? I told the boys like without even speaking to you now. So one day I went for a jog. So that's the day your album dropped, and then everybody was talking about it. Then I looked at it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna save this for my jog.
Oh,
So how I know an album is a classic, right? Is kalau aku tak skip lagu. So in that sense, there's 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. There's Nipsey Hussle's Victory Lap.
Victory.
Victory Lap.
And then when I played your album, where I think I was like 4 km into my run and I was done with the album, I straight away stopped. I texted the boys. I told them, sialah ni album gila babi sia. Instead of continuing the remaining 1 kilometer kan, aku went onto Instagram, then aku macam share kau punya album. I posted it says 10 out of 10. The production value was crazy, man.
Fantastic, man. It was
Love,
fantastic.
bro. Thank you.
You have legends as well, featuring on the album. That is also crazy, bro. Like the projects there. Oh my god, amazing, amazing.
But
Aku
the
got
silver lining of the album coming out much later, you say you never thought about it, is there was so much anticipation for your first album because you had like singles, you have collaborations, and then everybody heard you on mega hits like
mega hit
Mickey.
singles, man.
You have
Yeah.
songs with Joe and all that, so everybody was anticipating the album. So I think it's in due time, and I think it happened when it should have happened. So congrats again on the
Yeah,
album.
man.
Thank God.
Congratulations.
Of the top, Haikal, there are so many songs in the Storm. Which is your favorite?
Aku kalau masuk gym, right, before I start
Kira
my
kita semua
session.
workout tau.
Workout?
Album dia
Oh,
kita ada
nice.
workout.
bro.
satu jogging, satu.
Workout.
Aku terus macam, okay.
Aku, sebelum aku masuk gym while I'm walking to the gym, it's red flags, bro. Red flags is like dia macam pre tau, kan? For all the haters or whatever, I always start with that. So I built that, that semangat,
Right.
And then the moment I hit the treadmill, saham naik, bro.
Oh, okay.
Saham naik, aku can just put that song on repeat the whole time I'm on the treadmill, and then I move on to your next tracks or other tracks. Like I don't know, aku just maybe for aku punya pacing ke apa ke, but it just works, bro. Saham naik is like
Dia bukan just pacing. Bila aku pergi Australia jumpa dia, kita tengah barbecue, dia buka lagu tu, lepas tu dia tengah joget kat tepi sambil barbecue.
yes, sir. Gila,
Aku can't believe all that hype that you are talking about led you to use the thunder sound just now. All that hype.
Takkan nak, kalau aku buat sendiri lagi rabak lah, but it was something,
Hafiz,
I'm not judging, man. Yeah.
Hafiz,
Benda tu macam bunyi dia bukan jenis Splice punya tanda tau. Ini tanda daripada YouTube. Tanda captured in 4K. Diorang kat luar dengan mic.
Hopefully, hopefully we can get some sponsors, because getting sounds from from the net now, bro. Everything must subscribe, bro.
Yeah.
You mean you want to be struck by lightning?
No, maybe
as a sponsor?
I mean, we already have been struck by lightning. I mean, but I mean,
what?
Can it,
but I guess it helps that Red Flags and Sam 9 is back to back.
Yeah, man.
So you have that transition.
Apis, what about you, bro?
Favorite track?
Okay, for me, Sam 9 definitely, but dari jauh. Aku absolutely love that. When it first came out kan, the single dengan video and stuff kan, I had that on repeat. Wow. I think aku reach a stage yang I prefer easy listening punya R&B, hip hop and stuff, right? I love that. That more of that, man, my man.
Thank you. Thank you. Dari songs like Dari Jauh, there's the reason why the album got pushed.
To the Indonesia punya market,
bukan, as in macam the completion of the album got pushed.
Okay.
Because the album was completed the album first draft completed 2022 done. So when I put out Swipe is first single, Check second single. And then after that the album was supposed to come out after that. But but because Swipe promotions landed me in Indonesia, kan.
Yeah.
So when I was there, then the label was like, you wanna be in the studio with Indonesian songwriters and producers? Of course, I said yes, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did
Yeah, of
I did
course.
With the Fest when I was there. So I extended my trip like 3 days, and I got in the studio, and then after we made like 3 songs, and Dari Jauh is one of them.
Oh, okay. Pasal dia ada that very Indo jazz punya touch to the
Yeah,
song kan.
exactly.
Aku love that kind of music lah. Personally.
Nice, nice. Okay.
My favorite track
Mat,
for
yours.
The Storm, right, is Gerak. Sekarang kita gerak. There's a reason for it because apart from the messages in the track and all that, right? Although like we do hip hop and stuff, right? I'm such a fan of music when the drums never drop. When the drums never drop and it's like string and then there's a build up. Remember, boy, we like that Bad Bunny track,
Ooh.
that one that doesn't have the drums at all.
Yeah.
So when I listened to that, right, I was like, okay, this is the perfect way to end the album.
The album.
And then the meaning behind it, the strings, and then the
Deep
slow build
deep
up.
meaning though, right?
Mm.
The song, deep meaning.
So when I touch on that song, what made you decide on intro, outro, Zianazin?
And how was it like working with her?
Intro and outro, right? It was organic because the songs were there already. She was originally supposed to be on Teman only as the intro.
Okay.
Because I wanted people to, because usually first track sets the mood and for the album. So if I put her on there, then the listener will be like, oh, okay, maybe I think I know where this is going for the album. But when I wrote Gerak, Gerak was a later song that I made somewhere 2020, about the same time also actually, 2022, late 2022, some shit. So when I did that, I didn't have her in mind. I thought I just wanted like a gospel choir.
Okay.
Only later on when we were confirming the month that I said, you know what, I think I want her on. I want her to be she will be how will you call it? Like the statue of when you go to a campus and then there's a statue.
Yeah.
The symbol, I guess.
Yeah, so she's like the anchor for the
yeah.
project. She begins, she ends, she begins again. So, but I didn't know whether she wanted to do it or not because the song is at the point I think it's a little bit too much of for some people. And the reaction I got was also a bit concerning. But turns out it was a positive response, and she got back and she was like, "Yeah, she's ready to record."
So do you do the recording with her, or she recorded somewhere else and then passed the stems to you? How was it? How was it working with like a legend like her? Hafiz likes her, right?
Yeah, man.
Hafiz suka je.
Tak, pasal kat Janazin, she has so many hits tau. She's one of those singers macam 90s lah kan, generally her songs from the 90s kan. Dia ada so many good songs which are so well written. Macam lyrically was, of course there were good songwriters lah back then for ballads and stuff kan. Tapi dia ada so many hits tau when you look at it. Macam kau try Zanazin Radio on Spotify. Every other song is a solid song. Every other song kan, comparing okay. So how was it like if working with her?
Well, before recording her, we had one session to just listen to the demos together. Then she already heard the demos already. She agreed, but then we wanted to have a session whereby dekat dalam studio dengan aku lah. So we can feel whether there's chemistry or rather it's just different, right? When you listen to a demo together with the artist you're gonna be with.
Definitely, yeah.
So that was where I learned that she sings very close to the heart. So that means there was a very long period where she stopped singing. And and it said it's because of what happened in her life.
Okay.
It made her difficult to sing again,
Mm-hmm.
because when she started singing, it reminds her of whatever that's going on in her real life, and she was like, if this is how it feels, I don't want it.
Okay.
Yeah, so so that's good knowledge for me, because I'm going to be recording her, right? So when we went to the booth, I mean, she's a classic singer, guys. I mean, we know there are not enough words to describe singers like that who can just belt off the top. But one thing is, right, I realize singers from maybe her era, in a good way, are more reliant on the producer to record.
Okay.
Like artists who are in their 20s, 30s now, maybe in the early 40s also, they kind of have a little bit of pride in the booth. Faham tak? Dia macam, if the producer says it's a good take,
Okay.
I feel that I can do better because I don't like how I sound.
Okay.
So
Alright.
let me take another one. Let me go again. I don't like that, you know. But the producer's like, I have it. It's dah siap. So she's very respectful of the producer.
Oh, that's
1000 1000% trust on me. So, and then aku pun jenis macam I know what I need.
Yeah. Know what you want to hear and yeah.
So I think to a certain point it kind of surprised her because it's like, oh, like this. You need to be faham tak? Dalam otak aku dah tahu dah ni part aku letak delay, ni part aku nak ni.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was actually it was very smooth. Very smooth. But of course surreal lah on my end.
Yeah.
It's an interesting perspective when you put it that way, right? Given that how big a legend she is, coming to the studio and putting everything on your hands to let you dictate and let you decide on everything, right?
Yeah.
I think that is a class. When I saw Ziana Zain on the intro outro, I was wondering, okay, how is this gonna sound like? But at the end of it, I figured out that okay, no one. This is the most perfect synergy for the intro and outro. If anyone else did it, I mean, on hindsight, it's a different thing. But I think this was the perfect decision to choose to work with her for both. Beautiful, man.
Thank you. I'm glad it worked out sonically. Yeah. I mean,
So
she brought her energy to it.
Yeah, definitely.
so now we're gonna take a break from the questioning. I mean, the deep questioning about music. Heikel likes to play this or that game,
Let's go.
whereby you pick one of the two options that he's going to give, and then you can answer it. You can justify. You cannot justify. It's
You can
fine.
choose both.
Yeah, boy.
You
Boy.
can, you know.
Is it like rapid fire or?
I'm just gonna ask you this or that, and then you just give me your answers. And then if you want to explain, you can explain. If not, then we just move on to the next one. All right, let's go. All right, the first one. We just gotta know off the top, Drake or Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Hip hop.
Yeah. In what sense though?
Ooh, any. It can be anything.
Okay,
It's how you view it.
Kendrick wins,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm on Drake's team.
I can't figure that out though. I thought that would be
Yeah.
Interesting. Damn. Okay.
So it's a flat out victory for Kendrick.
Okay.
The
Next
pause
one.
at the start kan, aku dah agak ada cakap, okay ni Drake-nya orang. Pasal dia pause for some reason lah kan.
Well, take L lah.
like even musically, right? Macam Kendrick has like so many. Kendrick has a niche kind of music. Drake experiments a lot, so I can kind of figure out why you lean towards Drake on a whole.
Yep. I mean, but Kendrick is revered, bro. Kendrick is like Pulitzer. He's like poet level already. Like he's a much better rapper. He's a much better spokesperson for the culture, for his people and everything, you know. And that was what got him his victory. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
yeah. I mean, Drake in this battle, he was comfortable lah. Dia macam reliant on his past wins
Mm-hmm.
and being at the top. So dia macam
Hmm.
aku keluarkan apa-apa pun confirm jadi kan.
Yeah,
And
it's a
memang
hit
betul
done.
jadi. Yeah, if you look at the numbers, you know, Drake ni memang jalan lah. Tapi Kendrick ada culture like behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's flat out. Why I'm on Drake's side is because like we all dismiss the fact that like, you know, if it wasn't for Lil Wayne, we won't have Drake. If it wasn't for Drake, we wouldn't have so many of these artists.
Yep.
Like before,
Including Kendrick, you know?
including Kendrick, like
Yeah.
before Drake, right? Hip hop was just hip hop. Like it wasn't pop.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Betul,
today, right? Like we have like people down the street and wearing baggy jeans, Timberland,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
then like listening to, I don't know, maybe some subtle rap, who might not have leaned into rap
Mm.
if it wasn't for Drake.
True.
Yeah, fair point, I think.
You know, like
Yeah. True. True.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Next one. Travis Scott or ASAP Rocky? These are the simpler ones, Ali. You know, these are.
ASAP,
I like that he's thinking about it.
Oh,
That
deep
means
thoughts
that's
tau.
true, that's
Kira.
true.
really,
That's
really
true.
thinking
That's true.
what to answer.
ASAP.
ASAP. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one. Tupac or Biggie?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. NWA or Wu Tang Clan?
What do you guys think I'll answer?
I think
Susah saya nak read.
NWA ya. Aku feel macam it's gonna be
Aku
NWA.
pun feel NWA lah.
Uteng.
Mat dengan Haikal lah.
Baik.
Susah
I think
nak read
yeah.
saya. Ni read. Good
Hard lah,
poker
hard to
face
read.
kau. Yeah.
I think with Triple Noise, I think Rama was NWA,
NWA.
and then Shafi was Wu Tang, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
then you have that synergy.
Yeah.
Yin and yang.
Okay. Next one. Producers pick.
It should be
DJ Mustard or Metro Booming?
dua-dua. Okay, if I had to pick Mustard lah.
Master.
Mustard.
Yeah. If I had to pick, it'll be Mustard.
Nice. Okay. Next one. You prefer live shows or studio recordings?
Kira deep.
Every question is a deep
It's a
question.
deep one.
Loving it, man. Loving it.
But this is important. You know why? Because your live shows, we got to see a glimpse of your studio recording in the Storm, right? And it wasn't like an actual studio recording, but you did that listening party and everything, and it kind of showed a little bit, and not everyone seen you until you did that. And then live shows, people selalu orang tengok kau, right? You know, like everybody watch you and stuff. So like it will be interesting to know how you how you feel about both.
Studio recording.
Okay, studio
Kau
recording.
prefer studio Okay.
Any reason? This one I want to ask a bit.
I don't have to. I don't want to say I don't have to socialize. So
Okay. So you can just present your music,
Your music,
the way you want to present it under controlled circumstance kan. In a way.
both are therapeutic, but social pula. But studio recording is more therapeutic.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Right. The up and coming ones are kind of going to be a bit more controversial. You can choose to answer or not. You know, it depends.
Kau and the controversial word daripada episode 1 sampai sekarang Dia
Right.
mesti ada at some point ada
Mesti,
okay, it's
yeah.
gonna be
A
controversial.
bit.
Aku boleh actually cut.
Tapi
Nanti kita
controversial ke
cari,
tak?
kita cut.
Yeah.
A bit controversial. I mean, I guess.
Controversial,
maybe.
controversial. Kira dah 12 episode.
Okay.
Controversial.
Solo career or being in the duo, which is with Slick.
Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Malay tracks or English tracks?
That's a good.
Me making them or me consuming them?
I think
Don't know.
you
Your call.
making them. I want to know what's your perspective.
Okay.
Making
you
Ah,
making
making.
the track.
Making. Man, it's hard, bro, because we all started making English. Like
Yeah.
English songs is like the the
All of us
test.
kan?
Yeah,
All of us.
it's like the test of how good you are as a rapper. You gotta be able to rap in
Hey,
English.
Thanks,
Enough.
man.
Then-
I've always been trying to tell people this. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of English rap songs anymore. Even like the newcomers and all that, right? Banyak macam straight into the Malay. It's not saying that the Malay tracks
Yeah.
are bad or whatsoever. Like we all at that point started with an English track.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
one is like a different. And then when you mentioned, then I realized that's how true it is. It's like a test. It's a test when you have to
Yeah.
put out the English track.
Right. Because it's like enunciation, and then also you got
Yeah.
punchline. So when
Yeah.
I mean, when you perform in a hip hop gig, literally only you and your 3 friends know your song. So when you perform it, you gotta make sure your punchlines are clear, right? So the
Yeah.
people yang tak tahu lagu tu, they can still be entertained by your song.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess also maybe at that point in time, Malay rap songs were not many to make as references,
Correct. Yeah.
or
It
or
was a
rather,
different time.
yeah, or rather we didn't deem them great enough to become references.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to our whatever that we were what do you call it, like exposed to.
Yeah.
So yeah, but now I mean, like Sapa was doing like he's great rapping in English.
Yeah, man.
I think he did a EP with some guys. They were in English. Like I think if the cats on, like some of them they're doing English now, it's really good.
Yeah.
But okay, but if I had to pick though, I'll probably go with English still.
Nice.
Still, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, Joe Flizzo or Sona One. In any way, maybe working with them or
Controversial,
who you prefer eating with. I don't know. It's up to you, man. You
Aku
decide.
tahu kau dapat
you
benda ni daripada mana.
Dari
Kau
mana?
tengok Drink Champs kan?
Oh
Kau
yeah.
tengok Norris ya.
I
Aku dah
mean,
tahu.
Ni cornered my questions ni. Cornered.
You cannot answer.
you cannot answer. You can choose
We-
both.
We are
It's
not
fine.
taking any shots,
know?
nothing. But
No, it's
Both.
not.
I'll take a shot.
I wanted to ask you with regards to what you mentioned both, right? What is it like working with Joe? Because like for someone like myself, being in secondary school, then having that two fat CD, and then Joe, like to me, is quite revered, right?
Yeah.
So what is it like working with Joe?
He's another professional, I would say, that in the studio he gives the respect to the producer. Yeah, he will give of course he will be very aware of who's producing him and who he chooses to be in the studio kan. But once he gets in the booth, then there he'll be very I mean he'll do his thing, but he remains very receptive of the direction of the producer, the opinions and all that. Yeah.
How about as an artist, like working like maybe on the same song with him, like the garang ke, like the garang
Dia
ke,
looks
like,
it. Dia looks the
the
part.
looks it, like is it easier to work with like with him or
Actually, in the studio is where he's the most what would you call it? Like the most collaborative
So easy to work with.
socially. Yeah. I think he right because we're working again. So
yeah
That if there are any consensus about how he is outside or
Yeah.
in interviews or at shows or whatever, in the studio he is proper, like working. And then he's unlike Sona and myself, like he's a rapper, like pure.
Betul.
Like a lot of us double up.
Produce and stuff kan masuk kau.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even, like have a hand in this or whatever. But he's one of the rare ones that is pure rapping.
Rap.
Like
That's nice.
so in that sense he is always sharp in terms of rapping, freestyle, and he did writing also a while ago.
Wow.
Dia dah tak,
Even
he
as
stop.
a performer, right? Like every time me and Hafiz see him somewhere performing, we always be like, man, this guy is like dead ass professional. You know, he's got it locked. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I've got the opportunity to see him. I even went recently to
Show.
his show at the Star at Buona
Oh,
Vista.
yep.
And then, man, I was so amazed. The backing, the live backing, dia macam ada strings, dia punya intro bukan macam tadi kau punya Storm tu. Kira dia macam sial lah bila masuk aku macam sial lah ni goosebumps sial, gila babi sial show.
I was kita was at KL. Kau ada tak Abad like but it was years back lah. There was some small, it was a small, dia macam raising the bar.
RTB show.
But it's not the main
Bukan,
fest tau. It's the sub shows. So he wasn't even supposed to perform, tak salah that night. But he came to grace the show. Tapi him like performing unplanned, macam kau kat the audience kan, then you look at him up there, the way he carried himself, the way he delivered kan, dia macam this guy is just a rock solid performer. Kira you have to give it to him. Kan, rock solid lah.
All the way, aku rasa berapa lagu dia all the way tutup mata, aku macam
macam kau feel
aura.
macam the feel, the energy kan. Macam like you say lah, like a lot of people double up lah kan in a way. Tapi macam purely a lyricist, purely a rapper. But you gotta give it to him lah.
Yeah, MC master ceremony.
Kita ada the last question for you of this
Last
segment.
Last one.
Ni of course Haikal ni controversial.
Last controversial question.
Magic Potions as a producer or Alyph as the rapper?
Magic Potions.
Okay, now with the prior question, right, when he answered that he likes to be in the studio, I think this makes sense kan?
Yeah, makes sense. Yep.
The name Magic Potion, kau held on to it for so long, Alyph. Right? I mean, ever since you started lah kan?
Yeah. It's to a point where it was too late to make any changes.
You shouldn't, man. You shouldn't. I think it resonates lah kan. Macam, I was asking his email yesterday. Kan? Then he gave me Magic macam that. Okay, I'm not going to say out the email, okay?
Yeah.
But like when I saw macam this name, then macam you are still holding on to that name macam.
Was there a reason for you to call it Magic Potion, or macam kau macam decided that I'm cooking up beats, this sounds magic, so let me call this Magic Potions?
This I mean the idea of tagging was from like when Scott Storch last time laku and all, Fat Joe holler Scott Storch. And then I was like, I need one for myself. I think the business also had a tag. So Magic Potions was actually why is Magic Potion, the focus actually is on potions. Because when I started making beats, I wanted to, like, we had this thing whereby at hip hop gigs kita ada like beat tape punya in this session of, let's say, a gig called Totally Booked, we will open the event with a beat tape by
okay.
so and so.
Playing beats, okay.
Yeah, and then after that they'll play all the beats, and then it comes with a price, $20, $30 or whatever. And then if you listen to the beats, you like any of the beats, approach the guy after the show. The guy is here. So I made many kinds of beats. So I had party potions, I had love potions, I had,
Makes
yeah, I had
sense. Wow.
magic potions. So
Wow.
love potions was when um I would make like slower songs like R&B, like ballad,
Hmm.
or my idea of whatever I think love songs are. Party songs is like club, like songs I can imagine inside the club. And if that magic potion is like rap, like just rap,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, then I think I only did the tag for once for magic potions, and that was the only file I had lah. So macam just
So kau put that.
leave it as magic potions.
Okay, so that's the whole storyline behind it lah. Yeah, I'm so glad that the name Magic Potion yang stick. Pasal if yesterday you send me Party Potion, aku would remove kau from aku punya life for good, my friend. Okay? I'm sorry. I just had to let that one out. My
Kau tahu dalam hidup aku kan, kadang-kadang ada benda yang aku macam tak selesa sangat nak share lah kan. Tapi kau akan rasa lega lah bila share. Macam tu.
okay.
And then kau share dengan orang yang kau trust lah. Macam member kau. Sebab member kau akan faham kenapa kau
Enough.
buat pilihan-pilihan macam tu. Faham tak?
Yeah.
Terus deep.
Jadi kalau semalam tu aku hantar kau party potions, aku
Expected kau to understand.
aku bet kita masih berbual sekarang ni.
Cool, man. I wouldn't judge lah, bro. Mad love for you, my friend. But
Tapi soalan kau lain lah. Kau akan so apa pasal kau pilih party potions?
Why you call party potions? I think that the first question on the whole
party potions.
But you mentioned
Magic
the
party potions.
the
Okay.
different like love potions and party. I remember two love songs that I absolutely adore of your earlier works, and when I heard it, I knew there's definitely your beats. One is Imran's Compromise, the first version before it's on stream. That was done by you, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I think we
yeah,
spoke to
I
Imran
don't want
about
to
this.
wrongly take credit for it.
Betul bro, kau confirm kau.
Maybe, tapi mungkin like CD only, so like
Yeah, the CD version. And then there's this other one that I absolutely love, and I spoke to this person like who doesn't have the track anymore, was Rosie's Perfume. That was done by I absolutely love the song. I spoke to her like maybe last week. I asked her, "Do you have the song for me?" And then she was like, she doesn't think so. So these tracks are like gone. Macam we spoke to Imran, he mentioned Compromise. The one that we can listen now, it's like a remade version. It's not the CD version, right? So
I'm glad he decided to remake it also because that beat
why
FL.
Compromise is aku punya favorite Imran track ever, man.
Matt loves
I mean, it's
that
rated
song.
well. Of course, he wrote it, and
And
I mean, it's a great
me
song.
taking reference, right, is not from like now, although the new one is nice too. Me taking reference is solely of my memory that this was produced by Alyph,
Right.
and then this was done by Imran, right? I
Sweet.
love the track.
That's nice. That's lovely. Thank you, bro.
No problem.
Hey,
No
if you
problem.
Probably
really
someone has a track kan. Probably
We
it's
need
with
the
someone
CD.
somewhere.
Aku rasa
Yeah.
Imran masih boleh dapat tau pasal someone would have the CD.
The
Yang
Rosie one,
Rosie
you mean?
Perfume tu, aku rasa because I saw her perform it at gigs. Then I know the Malay version was on radio. The English version just macam missing.
Was it
Rosie,
ever recorded?
if you, ada. I think there was a recording, man. Well, we need to ask Rosie. Rosie, if you are listening to, please go and look at your external hard drive, lamanya komputer ke apa. let me find the song.
Look under the folder party potions maybe.
Love Potions, bro. Pasal tu love song.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Do you
Love
know that
Potions.
Perfume was also written by Imran?
Oh yeah. I think he mentioned it when we did the interview with him.
Yeah,
Now
that,
we're speaking about all these old tracks, right? We want to know, this is the age-old question now. How do you start out? And before you answer, I just wanted to refresh my memory. Were you at platform 5?
Platform 5, yeah. Platform 5,
Okay.
I
So I saw you 20 years ago at that platform, your audition. You was with this Chinese
Chinese
lady,
girl.
right?
Yeah.
Bro, that was such a long time ago. And what were you guys called? That was the first time I ever saw you like performing. Now I was like, oh, this is different. And then
Mm.
to your credit, over the years, you still maintain a whole wide spectrum of music. So what made you want to do this, like hip hop or rap or music in general?
First and foremost, if you saw me at platform, why did I only meet you like a few years later?
Because okay, when I was just someone that supported the scene, Sykes Naufal, Aidil Malik,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
I was their classmate, so they were in platform 4. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
coming to gigs. I was watching gigs as a fan. So I saw you at platform 5, and then 2 years later, when I took part at platform 7 your audition,
Hmm.
beside Imran, you were the other guest judge, and you put me through. So thanks, bro.
Dekat mana? Glass House.
Eight,
Dekat earshot kat bawah
Yes,
tu.
so
The
cafe.
audition
eight,
was there.
18 years in the making. Thank you, kan. Thanks, my man.
Padahal lepas tu boleh je cakap, bro, thanks Tak ada. Mungkin aku
Busy.
nak,
Kau busy.
nanti lah.
Kau
Mungkin
18 tahun later lah.
mungkin
2 years
18 tahun daripada sekarang aku buat satu podcast
aku thank orang.
Dan aku thank kau lah.
dan aku thank dia.
Yo
After dia, yeah. Thanks, Lip.
So,
Yang kau tau thank dia.
For absolutely nothing. Thanks, my
Thank
friend.
Lip. Ah,
so where was the starting point?
Starting point was in school already, like secondary school. Me and my boys. I was in Sec 1. I mean, this is apart from already listening to hip hop like and rap music. I was in Sec 1, and then after that ada budak Sec 3 ke Sec 4 perform untuk Teachers Day, and they were doing Digi Barat.
Mm-hmm.
And during the tukang karut punya part, the guy stood up and he started rapping.
Oh, okay.
And I think they had like a beat playing as well. This is, I think, around the time Triple Noise also was. I think after the time they won
Yeah,
Talent
udah
Time, I
lah,
think.
right.
Yeah, so it's like it feels like rap is coming closer to home, kan? And then I remember the crowd response. And I was like, and then something in me told me that I could do like something like that. I could do it better, right? And I haven't even attempted anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
I've never rapped in public or anything at all. So I think I didn't say it out loud. I think I had that thought. And then the next year we attempted to do it. We got a slot. I performed with my friends. Of course, ada yang kena paksa, tapi ada lah dua. Betul lah kan. But ada dua member dalam 5 member, 2 jiwa, 3 kena paksa lah. Satu kena bayar, satu macam ini. Okay, aku bayar kau pay recess. Okay.
Dulu
So,
kira ada group gitu besar tau, 5 member.
So
sure.
before you were the paid artist, your friend was.
My friend.
Kan?
Dia dah start
Kau
tau,
kena
dia
bayar
dapat.
dia dulu.
Yeah. So we did that, and I remember the response. I mean, on hindsight, looking back, of course, the response during school hours will be huge because we are studying most of the time.
Yeah.
So seeing a friend on stage doing something they don't usually do when you see them will make you very, very excited, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, you get a great response. But at that point in time, what we believe was lagu kita gila babi lah, aku rasa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usual for us to feel that way, kan?
Yeah.
Right? In a way,
So,
yeah.
Aku rasa kita boleh buat ni lah, kan?
Mm-hmm. Confident. Itu
Kau nak
hip hop
ketawa?
punya confidence.
Kau apa tadi kan?
And then, but let's not forget, like Sharif budak Woodland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sharif is my cousin, the Woodlands. And at point in time, Woodlands was already very active. They had their own hip hop thing going on, dekat the Dome, kat Dome.
Oh, okay.
So it's this
Okay.
place at Dome. Kat Woodlands is where all the graffiti artists, breakdancers, freestyle rappers will come gather and then will just do their thing. Over here, the rappers will be battling over there. Yeah. So about the same time. So aku jumpa Sharif like once a year ni because member Woodland, aku east side kan. So
Hmm.
every time we go there, then we will share like, hey, what you doing now? What you doing now? So growing up, we'll have phases, right? Like, okay, aku sekarang skater, dia biker.
Concept.
And so when it came to rap, I was say, hey, like I did this thing at Teachers Day dengan tada member aku. Dia kena dengan member aku juga, aku kena member dia juga. And dia was like, aku pun. But like, dia lagi advance. Dia dah macam, dia dah kat sana, dia dah pergi like, dia dah pergi youth park, dia dah. So he
Okay.
was my in actually. Like my cousin was like, okay lah, so bila aku tidur rumah dia, kita keluar lepak dengan budak-budak dekat dome, and slowly that went into after he got into a group with Rauzan, and
Oh,
then we
two.
went to Pasir Ris,
Hmm.
and then they had a family called Blah family, and they got me and the girl that I was in the group with on platform 5. We joined that collective, that family. So that was
The start.
so that was how it went. Like it started from a place that was actually considered private because when I did those performances, the audience was just my school then. But with that energy, I took it out to where people were meeting from everywhere in Singapore, and then I showcased whatever I had, like there.
Did you do like, was it like some, it sounded like some techno ke house kind of beat or macam upbeat
Techno-ish lah,
artinya beat in that platform 5 kan? It's like very upbeat gila babi. Then it was something so different at that point of time. You know how platform auditions be like, right? You know, everybody has like a hip hop beat. We find
Straight up,
somebody
yeah.
to do, and then when that beat came on, aku macam, ni lain siya.
Hey,
But it was an interesting thing. So if you were to say your musical influences, I mean, you might have plenty. You can name us your 3 or 4, however much you have. Just musical. It doesn't have to be hip hop or rap.
Max Martin, Quincy Jones, Scott
Mm.
Storch.
So these were the guys that heavily influenced you.
To start.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I got a bit of a question.
Controversial tak?
I don't know, maybe. because
Sekejap,
your
kita
journey
dengar dulu.
your journey started with Sleek, right? Basically, right? I mean, it wasn't actually Sleek, but you came in platform 5, and then you and your cousin then became Sleek.
Yeah.
Then you're now successful as like a solo artist and a producer, right? So what was the biggest challenge, like macam kau punya transition from being like a part of a duo and then now like establishing like your own identity?
Solo artist.
Yeah, as a solo artist.
What was the question again? It's like how, why, what is
What was the biggest challenge like in transitioning from being like a part of a duo to like being a solo artist?
Like I think his question is like people know you guys macam as Slick
as
lah
Slick,
kan, macam
yeah.
Alyph and Sharif kan.
Correct.
Tapi bila macam kau move on to the next phase, like okay, I'm gonna do Alyph, something like that lah.
That's right.
Kan. So did you face any challenge?
Tak adalah
Like,
kontroversi sangat lah kan, but
you have to throw that word in for some reason.
Aku punya feedback langsung tak controversial lah. Kalau kau boleh bagi feedback.
Go,
Bagi dia feedback because he needs that. This is not controversial feedback.
Aduh.
You know what? Like when that happened, it was something inevitable. So to face something like that, you have no choice.
Okay.
So if you want to think about it, it's all your cliche challenges. Like you used to be needing an opinion, you used to be sharing concepts and all that, but this time it's just with yourself. Just basically a lot of fear, because this time you don't have anyone to confide in if you feel things are going bad, or like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
or what might happen if this or that, or if we have a bad show and you get berated, like in person or in comments, or just the total vibe in public when you go, like you don't have anyone else to lean onto to say, like, hey, no, like this is the process, like we have to keep on going, like soon, sometime somewhere down the road, if we're doing things right, they will finally get it. Now we just have to like just keep being ourselves. Yeah, but apart from that,
Go je.
Because
Go
it's
je.
almost like a reinvention in a way, kan?
Yeah.
To a certain extent. It's almost as that, and I think a lot of people would struggle, but you did not,
Try
from what
to try
from what
from
we
I
see,
mean,
right?
I didn't.
Yeah,
It didn't seem like I did though,
yeah.
but whatever I went through, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Only
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know, kan?
Yeah,
Only you know what you
Exactly.
had
Yeah.
to go
I've
through.
never carried myself as somebody who shares, like I share my music,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
so that's all. That's my job, right? So anything else other than that is not any is not anyone's problem but myself. So yeah, but people need to go through this kind of stuff. Like like if thinking back, if you had a choice, you would be comfortable and you want to stay somewhere that makes you feel comfortable, but that kind of shit is actually the most dangerous.
Yeah.
This is like something Haikal always says, man.
Yeah.
Coming from this place where you mentioned, there's the fear and all, being where we are from, like Singapore, there's not much support in terms of like, especially hip hop at that point of time, right? Now it's a
Oh,
bit
it was
more
tough.
more
Yeah.
more mainstream, right?
Yeah.
What made you wanted to continue? What made you wanted to pursue? A lot of us, right? A lot of us at a certain point, macam take a back seat and then look back at a memory, like, oh, we used to do music, and then now maybe, but it's been music for you through and through. What made you have that drive, or what pushed you to just continue regardless of whatever happened?
Maybe I believe that it wasn't the support, but we weren't good enough. I think if you're good, you will have support regardless. Anywhere in the world, a good song will find the listener. Dulu macam time kita share lagu dekat like MP3 and all that. Ada lagu kan, semua orang tahu tapi dia tak ada artis yang nama.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, somehow it reaches you, kan?
yeah, like some gang songs. Faham tak?
Kira dah non-hip hop punya kan? It doesn't.
Yeah,
Kira dah non-hip hop. Okay.
yeah, like banyak orang tahu saya. So yeah, that's always been my stance. If if people are not coming to my shows, it's because I haven't done anything that deserves their response. And that was where I realized that making music is an act of service. It's it's like, do I want people to celebrate me, or do I want people to celebrate my work? Because like I mean, if Gordon Ramsay cannot really cook, I'm not too sure if he will be where he is.
Yeah.
Even if he's very personable, you know. So, yeah, that I'm always relied on that. Like, I mean, of course, macam aku perform and then macam 5 orang yang datang, 6 orang yang datang. Like, you know, to me, I tell myself that. I tell myself like, what you expect is on the entertainer's fault. Yeah, like who am I to say how dare you not come and show me love?
Yeah.
They got they got exams.
Exam leh. Tunggu. Kira rabak. Kira dia terus macam rabak gila tau reply.
Right.
Tapi
exam?
betul lah kan. At that point of time where we were all macam starting out, ada yang masih ada exam, ada macam tak pergi exam macam Hafiz. Dia dah give up.
And then like if you're older, you know, then you got work, you got real life issues, you got families.
Yeah.
How you
Life
expect?
happen kan.
Yeah, how you expect them to just pull up to a gig and support you when they hear that you have potential? No, they'll come when your song is playing at home
Okay.
and they know your song like
Yeah.
back to back. That's when they're like, oh, remember the show kat mana?
Yeah, that's right.
Orang kau nak tengok. And daripada sana grow, we slowly grow. Right.
Wow. Very deep, bro. Like, amazing. More on your, you know, your songs. You know, you mentioned that, you know, you write and you produce most of your songs, kan?
Yeah.
Like, what's your creative process like? You know, when like you're working on your own music, versus producing for other artists.
You're always your biggest critic, right? I felt like when I was producing for other artists again, it was very comforting for me because I get to care for somebody else in totality,
Okay.
right? Like you don't walk out of the studio with just a song. You walk out of the studio with a whole like career direction. Because this is what a lot of artists don't have regionally. They have A&Rs who do jack shit. Like they just want to find a hit song.
Yeah. One or
And-
two hits lah kan.
Yeah, and make you hit. I mean, rightfully so. If you want to capai the peer, well, NRI and you know, I mean, they look at the business side, and of course, it's good for the artist also to have a hit song, right? But I care for an artist when the artist does not have a hit song because the person still wants to be an artist, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to them when they put out the next 2 songs and they're not hits? What happens?
Yeah.
Right. So that's where we try and mold them in the studio. We have conversations. We, you know, I get to know them. Blah blah blah. Sometimes tak ada lagu pun keluar. Like my rule is 10% song, 90% is like vision. And believe it or not, a lot of artists like out there, they sing songs that they don't want to sing.
Okay.
They're
In
being
order
told
to get the views and the listeners and stuff, right? I mean.
yeah, they're being told to do this, and a lot of them also believe it. They do believe it because it's real. Like you see the real team, the team follows you to the studio, you record and everything. But one day, if I minus that team away from you,
It's over.
you have no idea what you're gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have no idea how you want to start. Like, who do I call? I just have a great voice. So I was in the business of doing that. I mean, memang extra benda ni aku tak payah buat sebenarnya. Aku like orang expect aku just buat lagu and after that just jalan lah kan. But I cannot help myself, right? Because kau dengar carta macam
Bro, it's
Sat,
bad.
yeah, and they ikut
Yeah.
genre. Like
Mhm.
somebody does a ballad and the ballad becomes a hit. Everyone does a ballad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's this saying whereby sekarang tengah time indie.
Mm.
So nak
Mm.
nak lagu hit buat lagu indie. So
Mhm.
then you have like ballad singers trying to make indie song,
Indie songs.
Yeah.
you know, and so like I believe that it could be a variety on the charts, just like the Billboard charts, just like any music charts that are global
Mhm.
on a bigger scale. You know, it's very vibrant. It's very, and then everyone can eat.
Yeah.
Walaupun
Mm.
sikit kan.
Any genre kan, any type
Yeah,
of music, any genre.
semua ada kerja. Then everyone doesn't feel like they need to have a hit to become a full-time working artist,
Mm.
right? Because the bar is set there that you think that if you don't have that, you are nothing. But actually,
Yeah.
if you have a number 5 song, number 6 song,
It's still charted.
you still have shows. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, smaller crowds, 100, but you'll be busy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can gladly say, I'm a full-time artist. But
Maybe
it's a lot of mindset, bro.
the idea of like longevity tak ada dalam the mind lah. Like you want that instant hit
Instant.
kan, so you maybe forsake your own ideals in a way, right? You are actually this kind of, you prefer this kind of music, for example, but like macam kau mention lah, but on the charts, the trends currently, oh, it's another kind of music, and I realized, oh, maybe I can try singing that kind of music, for example. So most people go down this path. Maybe. I mean, I'm not judging, right? I'm nowhere to judge. Just things that we see, can and we feel.
Yeah. And it's real, bro. And I mean, to go even a little bit deeper, a lot of us don't know why we're doing this.
Mhm.
Don't know why we are doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Betul.
That's deep, man.
sometimes you have like an artist and ada one hit song, right? And then
Yeah.
after that, and that's it, right? Or maybe two. Let's give the artist 2 hit songs, and then after that they 2, 3, 4 years, like 5, 6, and then after that they just like.
Mm.
Oftentimes it's because they never knew why they are singing the song. Apart from thinking that it will make you money, yeah,
Yeah.
and make you give you a healthy celebrity status,
Yeah, popular lah kan.
yeah, and a healthy level of fame and income, recognition, a good name
Mm.
to bring to your parents, you know, to be modeled as an idol by people. But the there's no goal.
To head
Mm.
on. To head on.
Yeah, like okay, why are you singing? Because what do you are you singing because you want to be popular?
Mhm.
No. Are you singing because like why? Because if you want to sing to become popular, then there are many ways to be
Do it.
popular,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? You can
Mm.
start hosting, you can start acting, you can do advertisements, you can be
Mm.
you know a KOL, you know, you can go on TikTok, make content and all that. There's many ways, right? So that's not a good answer,
Okay.
right? You want to sing because you think you have a good voice. That's not a good
Yeah.
answer either, because there are many people with great voices, right? It's
Yeah.
not enough.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is where I'm at. This is the 90%.
Mm.
Yeah, and a lot of us don't know. They're just like, why do I rap? Really? Apart
Mhm.
from like wanting to, I don't know, get respect, get into the clubs,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know, be looked up at. All these are like 1 month, 2 month
Yeah.
pleasures.
Very short span punya stuff, right?
Yeah. And again, it wouldn't be fair to tell somebody not to do it because it's that. Because then I would be depriving you of the experience.
Yeah.
True.
And so
Mm.
I also always believe that if it is really what you think you need and you want, you need to go through it to just experience it, and
Yeah.
then
I
you
mean, like, see it through even uh, in the darker days lah, when things are not working out for you, but you really want it, you slog it out. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
yeah,
Macam okay, it's not working out, let me try something else instead. Kan. Of course, there are people who are like that lah, kan. End up.
most most
Mm.
of us are
Mm.
like that.
But to your credit, when we speak about you having artists coming in and working on like music, I think to your credit, it's been amazing. I think we are consumers, right? We don't know what it's like
Mm.
to work with you.
Yeah.
But whenever a track that is produced by you comes out, and then we know like, okay, this is Alyph's Alyph's stamp on music.
Yeah.
And even to just quote one example would be K-Click. K-Click, if you are like from the Singapore hip hop scene before Mimpi came out, you might have known them. In Malaysia, they would have been more popular. But the minute Mimpi came out, it's like on radio. Everybody knows, and then when they
Mm.
perform in Singapore, macam budak kecil dah tahu lyrics, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to your credit, I think you have helped people to find their sound when they work with you. Sekarang aku dah tengah fikir-fikir why did I start to rap pula lepas kau cakap. Aku dah macam
Deep, bro, but love this, man.
Uh,
Damn.
Haikal
Amazing.
is questioning his
thanks for your
life.
No, no,
perspective,
I'm not.
man.
I'm not. But I'll be
You
honest.
should.
I'll be honest. What you said is I think prevalent, or like is in whatever you do in life. I think as long as you respect your craft, I think you will put your 100% and not be like everyone else, and will pursue that. So I feel you on that, in that sense, because like, I've now I'm living abroad. I When I look at things differently, I'm able to look from outside, and how my mind goes now is totally different from how I am before. And it's just nice to see someone like, when you talk about it, I get to like, I get to go through my emotions and my mind, and then reflect, and it was just lovely to hear you,
Mm,
be deep like that. So
mm.
amazing, bro, like
I
amazing.
appreciate.
Yeah.